All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is this Spectrum post by Elliot, and it's in regards to mining mostly, but there's a few key things that I want to point out. First, the balancing is not final. That is bolded here. And if you aren't aware what Elliot does, he is one of the primary leads on uh, missions and mission development throughout the verse. So he is not necessarily in control of the economy or whatever you want to call it for missions and stuff. He is the one that programs them and implements them properly so that way they fit with the story that the narrators not the narrators, the story writers want to tell, right? Um, but he goes on to say it's not even implemented. The amount of contracts we had to make means the data is the base inherited one without any tweaks at all. The econ team is working on the balancing, and you will see it come online very soon. To go further into this, by balancing, I mean amount you get paid and the amount to deliver. As for some of the flow issues you notice, getting loads of gems in a box and submitting that, we are aware of it. So this goes into a different issue in regards to mining. So don't worry about this specifically, but it does have something to do with salvaging. And that piece of it is currently you can go on the mining side or the salvaging side and purchase any type of material for that mission and turn it in for RMC. You don't actually have to go out and salvage a mine. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I mean, if you want to go that route, that's on you, dog. Moving on. Okay. So we're going to talk about the first thing is how you get into Adagio Holding reputation, right? Now, the initial mission, I am here at Hurston, and this is pre-recorded footage, by the way, but over at Hurston, and I'm doing the first mission. The first mission is very, very basic. It wants you to go to a ship, salvage the ship, and then turn in one SCU of RMC to X location. And in my case, this is her L5. What you'll see after the fact is these four missions here. And once we open it up, oh, well, before we get into the new four missions, we do have the old ones here still. So we do have these contracted ones, the 1K mission, the 2K mission, 5K, and then 10K, right? Those are still there, and they're going to be important eventually. And I say eventually for a very specific reason, but we will get into that later. You have four different missions here. So you have Salvager needed, small supply of RMC. This one is very basic. Take one SCU of RMC over to, this is ArcCorp L4. Now this changes to anywhere in the system, right? So it could be, I mean, her L5, crew L2, or not L2, that could be crew L4, it could be Mike L1, like any location, any Lagrange point within the system. I have seen this pop up at crew L2 and crew L3, even though those locations don't exist. I mean, they exist. You can quantum to them, but they don't exist. There's literally nothing there at the moment. So keep that in mind. Crew L2 and Crew L3 do not exist. You can go there. You will get mission markers for there, but you can't turn anything in there. Our next mission, we have Salvager needed, small special order of RMC / components. And this is a really, really cool one that I thought that they added. Go collect 2 quantum drives size 1 to Modern Express Station, ArcCorp L3, and deliver 3 jump drives size 1 to Modern Express Station at ArcCorp's L3 Lagrange point. So very, very cool that they added components in here. Next, we have this mission here, Salvager needed small supply of RMC UCM. And we have 1 SCU of RMC, go figure. And then we have one SCU of construction, whatever comes off your ship. So for the smaller ships, for your Salvation, Fortune, and Vulture, you'll get Rebel. For the Reclaimer, you will get Salvage. And this one's important because it brings up construction pieces, but we don't have a ship currently that has construction or gets construction pieces. So maybe this is a hint that we might be getting our medium salvager soon, but don't put any hope into that. It's just me me hoping. Let me have the hope, okay? You don't get your hopes up. The last mission, the last new mission that we will have is deliver 01 shield generator size 02 wide forestation at ArcCorp's L1 Lagrange points. So, of these missions, two of them they work flawlessly, and uh, I have no issues with them. And that is this one here, one SCU of recycled material composite, and one SCU of construction, rubble, or salvage, and then one SCU of material composite to ARC L4, right? So these two work perfectly fine, no issues. They give reputation, so on and so forth. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about outside of those two missions is this one here, and this is to turn in the shield generator size 0. The unfortunate part about the shield generator size 0 is that there are no contracted missions to actually go get one of these. So you would have to find some kind of ground vehicle that has a size 0 shield generator, like the RSI Ursa Medevac, or the I want to say the Kruger P72 has a size 0 generator on it, but I'm not sure. The other option that you have is to go to a location like Crew L4, the Platinum Bay there, and purchase one. They do have them for sale. But unfortunately, as you can see on screen right now, turning in a size 0 shield generator does not give much reputation. So I would just avoid this one completely. This one needs to be reworked for two different reasons, and that is one of them is that you can't get any contracts for a size 0 shield generator. The next one, and this one applies to both the previous one, the shield generator, but also the quantum drive is more relevant. The quantum drive and jump drive one is more relevant because of this issue here, and you can see it on screen. Whenever you try to send down components that come from a contracted ship, you get this error on the screen where it won't allow you to send down the components as contracted component, like to complete your contract. It won't let you send down components to complete your contract because the components are involved with another contract. And that is a bug. 100% that is a bug. And I think it's related to these priority missions. I think they probably copy and pasted all these missions together in some capacity. But you can see here at the bottom, resources tied to another contract will not be accepted. And this is the same across the board with all these priority missions where you have to deliver cargo of some capacity. Please remember that contracted goods are tracked by their legal owners and can't be accepted. Resources tied to another contract will not be accepted. Here's another one. Please remember that contracted goods are tracked by their legal owners and can't be accepted. But then you go down to salvage, and it specifically says in here, we recommend searching for wreckage at Lagrange points, or you could purchase a salvage claim from us in our contract manager. So this is a bug. I think it's a simple fix. Like they probably just have to turn something off but I do think these two are related. The salvage and the priority missions, I believe they are related. That is a bug. So hopefully Elliot sees this and can turn that off super quick for salvage missions specifically. That is an unfortunate thing. But that being said, the second portion of this is I also need one of the teams to physicalize the jump drive while it is attached to a quantum drive. And they might know about this, they might not. The issue is if you try to pull off a jump drive while it's physicalized and attached to a quantum drive, you can't. The tractor beam either goes straight through the jump drive or it attaches to the ship if the shields are off, or it'll attach to the quantum drive. You cannot target a jump drive with a tractor beam, which is really weird considering that they somehow managed to get the salvage tool to be able to target the jump drive while it's attached. So if they could figure out a way to allow us to disconnect the jump drive while it's physicalized to the quantum drive, that would be amazing. Maybe both of them need to be attached to the ship, and then you're able to target one or the other. But I've had many times, and you can see here in this footage, where I'm trying to get the jump drive out of the door of this Scorpius, and I can't, or I'm trying to get the quantum drive out and I can't because the jump drive is in the way of the door that's open. So if I could have attached or detached the jump drive in this scenario, that would have made this a whole lot easier. I could pull the quantum drive out and then pull the jump drive out afterwards, and then I could complete this mission a whole lot easier. So the only way I know, as far as I know, the only way you could do this is by equipping the quantum drive that you pull out of these abandoned ships, and then detaching them through the vehicle loadout manager. That also leads us back to the previous issue where you can't send down components that are linked to another contract. So hopefully this gets fixed, and hopefully by the time I put out my industry update, this will be fixed, but we will see. We will see. So moving on to the last thing, and we are headed to the Air and Halo for this. Now, you don't need to go to the Air and Halo for this. I just wanted to get it. Oh my gosh. The PTU server is just so laggy. The PTU server is just so laggy, and it's unfortunate because I really wanted to stay around Hurston and do all this, but I ended up going to Crusader in Arco 1. But anyways, we're at Air and Halo so we can get at least somewhat of a stable server ping. And as I ping, you're going to notice that there's a lot of markers around here. Now, we are in Band 5 of the Air and Halo, which is the most dense portion of the Halo. But majority of this is not going to be minables like one would think. This is actually going to be Wreckage. And you may be asking, what is Wreckage, Sax? Well, let me tell you, my friends, Wreckage is the new salvage panels. Salvage panels have essentially been removed, and you now have Wreckage, which can be randomly scattered about each of the Lagrange points in the Air and Halo, in the Glacium Ring, in the Kyber Belt, which Kyber Belt is a whole new thing that y'all don't even know about, but you will know soon enough. But these are the pieces of Wreckage that you can see out in the Air and Halo. You can find these pretty much anywhere, and they are quite abundant. I think our server FPS might be attributed to how much freaking Wreckage there is everywhere. It's literally everywhere. So, but this is what it looks like. There's just a couple of important things to know about this. Generally, you can only salvage one side. They do have quite a bit of SCU in regards to scraping them. So you can get quite a bit of RMC just going from panel to panel to panel to panel. The unfortunate part about this is even though they are ship parts, they cannot be salvaged, or they cannot be fractured and disintegrated. So you're not going to get any construction material out of this. That is the unfortunate part, but it's pretty much, at the end of the day, what this is currently new salvage panels. That's all this is. The other big note about this is it seems like it may be intentional, it may not be, but there's a whole bunch of this stuff around, and it seems like they're all in singles. So you're only finding one at a time. And so you're not getting signatures like 18, 20, 22,000 anymore. It's all going to be 2,000, 4,000, 2,000, 6,000, like all those numbers around there. But if they keep this amount of Wreckage available, it's going to be quite a short time from one set of debris to the next, so on and so forth. So that being said, that is salvaging in 4.6 so far. If I get any more updates in regards to salvaging, maybe bugs that have changed, that will be in my industry update video, and you can check that out on patch day, whenever that is. It could be this Thursday, it could be next Thursday, who knows, but that is the next time you'll hear about salvaging. That being said, I am Saxon Wine with SC Haulers, and we'll see you at the next haul. Love you, bye.